The Leave Your Legacy podcast is supported by Wise Financial. Wise Financial is a Northwestern Mutual private client group member. For over 20 years, Wise Financial has dedicated its efforts to designing comprehensive wealth management strategies for business owners and many accomplished athletes. Through their efforts, Wise Financial has been recognized as an industry-leading firm. The Northwestern Mutual Life Insurance Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Hi, and welcome to the Leave Your Legacy podcast. I'm your host, Kenyon Murray, and today we have a special podcast episode. Recently, I was able to be the keynote speaker for the 2023 KCRG Athlete of the Week Awards Banquet. And it was a special honor for me, seeing that I did have one of my boys as Athlete of the Week. And as a coach in the greater Cedar Rapids area, it was awesome to see so many terrific athletes be honored in this way. One thing that a lot of public speakers do is they have sort of a format that they talk about, but for this event, it was truly special to be able to talk to athletes that strive to be the best of the best in their sport. And so I think it's a unique opportunity for me to show you, one, how much I am just so envious of the time, energy, and effort that these young athletes put into it. But it was also an opportunity for me to show them how much I appreciate them. So we hope you enjoy the episode. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me here tonight. It is a celebration of not only the athletes, but the families that have supported them to this point. So I would ask that everybody give the parents and the family members here a round of applause, because without them, these athletes wouldn't be able to do the things they do. One of the things that I've learned a lot as a dad is listening to my kids, right? Having 4 kids, doesn't matter that same mom and dad, same rules, each kid's different, and so part of being able to raise kids, hopefully to reach their potential, is listening to them, seeing their differences, and then embracing those differences and helping them become the men and women that we hope that they become in the future. But one of the things for the athletes, to excel in anything, I believe it takes 3 things. It takes time, it takes commitment, and it takes love. Time. You spend more time in the weight room and training than you do on the playing field, in the pool, on the basketball court. That same time that you're dedicating, your parents are dedicating time to you as well. They've got to drive you, they got to pick you up, they stay in hotels. They're in musty gyms, playing basketball or whatever all the time. So time is something that definitely it takes for you as an athlete to excel. It takes commitment. You have to be committed. There's no, how do I put this? You're here because you have set yourself apart from everybody else. And doing that takes commitment. Commitment on your part. Once again, commitment on the parents' part. Commitment on your coach's part. Everybody has to be on the same page to go above and beyond for you to be the athletes that you want to become. And it takes love. You have to love what you do as an athlete. I call it falling in love with the process. One of the things that people asked me about Kris and Keegan was, because I was an athlete, because I played basketball, did I just put them in the gym all the time? I didn't. There was balance. Soccer, baseball, they were actually better baseball players in 7th, 8th grade than they were basketball players. And that's what my wife wanted them to pursue, because they're left-handed and they both pitched, and now they're 6'8". So she's like, MLB, here we come. But they fell in love with the process of getting better, just as you have. I would take them to the gym and say, all I want is 45 minutes. As a coach, give me 45 minutes, do what I ask you to do, then you can do the rest. We wouldn't leave the gym for 2 hours, because they love that process. They love challenging themselves. And having twins is a little bit easier to challenge and have that one-on-one partner, but you have to fall in love with the process of what you do. And that's in any walk of life. Doesn't matter if you're a newscaster, coach, accountant, Like you have to love what you do to get up every morning and go do it. And the one thing about great that I believe is that to be great, you have to be willing to stand out. That's obvious by the athletes in this room. But greatness, I believe, does come with a cost. And there's three things that I believe greatness, that costs to be great is friends, family, and fun. To be great, there's going to be times where you can't hang out with your friends. They're out doing things. You're in the gym, you're in the pool, you're in the weight room. There's going to be times when you have family events that maybe you have to miss because you're in a tournament or, you're traveling here or there. So you miss time with family, you miss time with friends. And as teenagers, you want to have fun, right? But being great, once again, comes with a commitment and a focus that you have to have. And there's just certain things, because I believe that as an athlete, you have a certain period to be great, right? I joke with Kris and Keegan, I'm like, you guys could be done with your NBA career in 10 years. You're 22 or 32, 33 years old when you're done with your career. So if you have 10 years to be great, what are you doing in that time frame? Okay? Because then you have the rest of your life. Because being an athlete, as a lot of us older people will say, when it goes, right? And it can go pretty quick. And so there is something to be said about what you have already done as teenage athletes. And to continue to take it, it's going to be harder, okay? There are pressures that you have to face every day. There are pressures that you guys as teenagers face that we didn't have to face every day. There's pressure when it comes to performing. And whether that's from coaches, college coaches, high school coaches, parents, your peers, yourself, there's always pressure there. But the thing is when you commit and you excel like you have, there's a reward at the end of it. Because not everybody can do what you do. That's obvious. Not everybody can be the number one ranked wrestler in the country in their class. Not everybody can be that. And I know to be as good as you are, you've put in tons of hours. Mom and dad, tons of hours, right? Am I right? Absolutely. Here's the thing, as my phone dies on me, sorry. You all have dreams. And I was, funny story, so I'm leaving to go out of the country tomorrow. I put in my passport renewal back in January, didn't get it, so I'm scrambling. So I had to drive up to Minnesota last night, get my passport, come back. But as I was thinking about the speech and I was sitting there waiting for my passport to be printed, I was thinking about most athletes dream, right? You dream of greatness, you dream of all these accomplishments. But then I started to think about, like, what does dream mean? And I actually came up with a little bit of an acronym, so hopefully I'm not copywriting anybody. Hopefully this came out of my brain. But this is what dream means to me. D, desire. R, resilience. E, equity, sweat equity. A, accomplishment. And M, meaning. All those things go into you becoming the best at what you do. Once again, regardless of what you do in life. But the thing I want to say to the athletes is your dream is your dream. It's not your parents' dream, it's not your brother's dream, it's not your sister's dream, it's not your grandma and grandpa's dream, it's your dream. You can shape it because you're the one that's putting all these things into accomplishing your dream. And for those that don't know, I do a podcast. It's called the Leave Your Legacy podcast. It's been a fun thing to do. I've had a lot of great people on it. But the reason why everything we do, our management company is called Murray Legacy. I mean, legacy means so much to me. And the reason it does is because the one thing that I believe some people don't realize or understand is that regardless of what you do, who you are, where you live, where you grow up, you are leaving a legacy for someone. You're leaving a legacy for your family. I know we have some fathers, dads, or moms that have been Athlete of the Week. Now you have kids that are athletes of the week. You have kids that are playing. You're carrying on that legacy that your parents built. Legacy for your teammates, right? The teammates you have around you now, they're going to remember you. You're going to remember them. And then all the other players that come up after you, everything that you do, there's going to be someone that refers to you. Remember her, remember him. So you're leaving a legacy for the people that come behind you. Your coaches. What you guys have done this year, your coaches are going to talk about for years to come. Guarantee. When they see someone that has a talent like you, they're going to refer to you. So you're leaving a legacy with your coaches. And then your community. You know, I was talking to Scott, and we're talking about Williamsburg. And I know the Dorman family in Williamsburg. And the one thing about your community is you guys rally around each other all the time. I mean, it is something that I have seen firsthand. Obviously, knowing Ryan, he's told me a lot about it. But in every community, when you do something great, when you are athlete of the week, when Scott comes in and rolls in with the vehicle and everybody knows it's coming, the community's rallying around, everybody's getting excited. People are tuning in that night to watch your episode of KCRG Athlete of the Week. You're leaving a legacy. And so I'm going to say enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Because it does go fast. I mean, Kris said, I watch videos of myself, but I didn't do it that much. I was always trying to teach, right? So I'm like, Tom Davis had a great press, and you guys need to learn how to run this press, and you have this offense. So, but I won't leave without saying this. I am extremely blessed to be in the position I am. You look at 4 years ago, and everything that our boys are doing, we couldn't have we couldn't have predicted this. And I do want to give some kudos to Scott, because the one thing about this is there were a lot of critics when my boys signed with Iowa, but you were one of the people that I know believed in them, and that's all they needed. As an athlete, not everybody's going to believe in you, okay? There's always going to be doubters. But the one thing that I can say that was true about my boys, and I know it's true about all of you, is that you believe in yourself. And that's all it takes. Believe in yourself, have somebody take a chance on you, and then have the love and support of a family. So thank you again for having me be your keynote speaker. I am blessed to have been in this community since 1992. Iowa is home. Even though all my family lives in South Carolina now, they're telling me to move back, but I'm not. I'm Iowan. I'm used to the cold now. So I'm not going anywhere. But I want to say once again, congratulations to all the athletes, congratulations to all the families, and thank you for having me tonight. Appreciate it. So I hope you enjoyed the podcast. It was such an honor for me to give the keynote address to the 2023 recipients of the KCRG Athlete of the Week. And remember to go to the Talk About Network page on YouTube, subscribe, give us a like, and hit the notification button. You can also find us on the iHeartRadio platform Spreaker, Apple iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Kenyon Murray. Until next time. This podcast is sponsored by Storyline Multimedia. Storyline is an Iowa City-based media company that specializes in creating high-quality video, photo, and audio productions for local businesses. Not only that, but they also produce a number of podcasts, including this one. So if you're interested in sharing the story of your business with the world, contact them today by visiting StorylineMultimedia.com. And remember, your story matters.